Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
What's good? What's up? Welcome back to First Cut Live. This is our first episode of 2021. I'm here with the starting lineup, the Big Three, the team that's gonna win it all. RB3 and Sabrina, what is up?
It was good. Oh, sorry.
Starting the new year like it is. Doing pretty well going into this. A lot of stuff happening in the world, and it's been a journey already. Just a few days into the year. Obviously, we knew just because it's 2021 doesn't mean everything's gonna magically get better, but here we are.
Yeah, obviously we'll get into that in a little bit for sure. How about you, RB3? How you been, man?
Yeah, man, just been trying to survive, man. Looking at everything happening in the world is a little discouraging. Our country's an embarrassment at this point, but still living, still breathing. So, that's all you go for.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things right now, man, where I feel like the whole country, maybe even the whole world has stopped just because of what's going on right now. So let's just jump into it, man, because I feel like maybe we should not kind of lollygag around it. How are you guys feeling right now? Let me go to you, Sabrina. How are you feeling about this whole thing? Obviously, it's kind of an embarrassment, like RB3 said. It's an atrocity to like the whole government system. And it's not even like we're necessarily the most pro-government type people here. Like, I know RB3 and I are very much like we don't necessarily support and love politicians, but at the same time, like, there's levels to this game. And I feel like what happened yesterday just reached a different level.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry,
Oh, no, you can start.
It's been so long since we've streamed. I think we just forgot the whole like weird Zoom lifestyle that we've been used to living. It's there's a lot of enablers in the situation that happened yesterday, right? And there's a lot of people who can be held accountable. It's the people who are out there, doing the actual protest themselves, right? And doing that, or not protest, riot, terrorist act, domestic terrorist act, in front of the nation. Those people who chose to do it are absolutely at their own fault. And, they escalated to a point way further and beyond anything else that, any other kind of protest or riot or anything else we've seen in this country. People talk about, looting and all these things, but, no one's ever taken it to the steps of the council of the Capitol building of the United States of America. No one's ever taken it there except at this time period. This is unprecedented things that we're seeing happening in front of our eyes that have never happened before. These are at the fault of the people, but it's also at the fault of the politicians who enabled this, right? It's the fault of Trump, who had the rally that morning and told 10,000 people that it was okay to march down to the Capitol building and just blatantly disagree with democracy, right?
And raise hell. That's basically what he said. Right.
And there's people there's the people in his camp, in his cabinet, the Pences, the Ted Cruzes, all of these, politicians who are frankly just chasing political ambitions as if like they're trying to run for president. Eventually they're trying to run, trying to get the backing of the Trump people, but they unearthed the genie in the bottle and they're trying to put it back in. They just don't know how to. And this is, it's sad. It's unfortunate, but this is unfortunately at their own fault. This is coming right after the I think the great loss of Georgia, that we saw, Thursday night. But it's like as soon as we start to get progress, and as soon as we start moving in the direction that is taking us out of this authoritarian state, it's like we step right back into it. And honestly, at this point, you could probably find tape of me saying this back in 2016 or whatever. Like, when Trump first got in office, and people were calling him like Hitler or whatever. I thought it was a little hyperbolic. I thought it was a little much. I thought people were being a little ridiculous. But now, at this point in 2021, at this point in history, I think there's fair comparisons to put him up there with the Mussolinis and the Hitlers and the all-time terrible leaders like and you know, I was gonna say all the all-time great bad guys, but then, you know, bad guys is kind of implying like this level of fun to it, but it's not fun. You know, this is not a state of being that we should be in. So yeah, I think Trump's officially entered the worst of all time territory for sure, and he's already there. He was definitely already there, but I think this just submits to the legacy. So I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And we talked about it a little bit when we were kind of covering the election on First Cut Live during that time, because this was something that was so prevalent in the news on how these people won't back down. And we actually had a discussion on, okay, so what happens now? What happens in the future? How can there be some type of, can we unify this? Can we do something? And this kind of shows that it's not going to happen anytime soon. You know, as long as this rhetoric still continues to be spoken by everybody, not just Trump, but everybody who supports him and all of his people around him. Like, I know people were talking about Pence unfollowing Trump. Trump tweeted about something negative about Pence as well. It's like they're fighting with each other. And even then, even if the people are trying to distance themselves from Trump now, it's like, you enabled this. You stood idly for years. You're just as in the wrong, and we won't forget that. Even if you condemn him now, if you didn't condemn him all the other times, it doesn't matter. So yeah, it's super disheartening to see something like this. And it just goes to show that like further divide in this country that is being encouraged by Trump and his family and his people and everybody involved in that.
Yeah, it really is. What we saw yesterday was the power of rhetoric, the power of disdain. I think that's the word that I really feel like should be used. The way that Trump creates disdain for other people, other groups of people, people of color, people who don't have the same beliefs as you do, people who believe things differently than you do. If you create enough disdain of that, if you create enough hatred towards that, that's what you get, is what you got yesterday. It's also the power of the ability to create an allegiance towards yourself, towards one person, which always ends up wrong, no matter who it is. It just ends up going wrong. If you create a leadership that is dedicated to one human being, no matter who it is, it's going to be trash. But the fact that it's like the trash human being, it's even worse. And that's exactly what Trump has created with his followers, is a group of people that I don't even know if they're, I think they've reached like Super Saiyan Republicans now, where they're beyond the Republican Party to the point now where they're just Trump allegiance and they declare allegiance to him. That's dangerous, right? And every time people say the word dangerous, people kind of scoff at you, like you said, RB3, and it's like, well, you know, it's not really dangerous. But yesterday we saw where it could lead. And the problem with yesterday, obviously there's a lot of problems with yesterday, but the one that people keep pointing out, and the one that I feel like we should point out right away, because we are people of color, is the double standard. And is the idea of what happened with the Black Lives Matter protests that happened all around the country only a couple months ago. And the idea of how the most heavily guarded, safe, most powerful building in the planet, besides maybe like a military building, is taken over in a matter of half an hour by a bunch of crazy white people. And it's one of those things where if RB3 and I and a couple other of us were storming it, I think we would be dead. Like, no joke, we'd probably be dead by now. And it's one of those things where it's frustrating because we see this happen all the time, where, I mean, you saw so many people say it, but the most recent one in my head is Jaylen Brown, who said, like, you know, there's black people who get shot in their backyards, man. Yeah. Like, there's black people who get shot in, like, just walking down the street.
Yeah, there's black people get shot just sleeping in their houses, like,
sleeping in their houses.
Yeah.
Who's homie from Denver? Homie from Denver. I forget his name. Aurora, Colorado.
Oh, yes.
Elijah McClain.
Yes.
Elijah McClain walking home and wearing a hoodie, and he gets tackled by police officers and given a deadly dose of drugs because he wouldn't comply. And by wouldn't comply, it means he was scared for his life and trying to catch his breath. That's the kind of shit that pisses people off, and that's the kind of shit that shows you that the double standard is real. There's just so much wrong, man. There's so much wrong with this country, and it reaches a level where if you've been avoiding political talk and political conversation. RB3, how many times have you and I mean, just on a personal note, man, like just because this is First Cut Live, we can be personal on here, have been told to not be political and have been told to shush about the political stuff and to keep it about the movies and to keep it about the superheroes and that shit. Like we've been told that for years, bro, like way before this kind of shit was going on. Back in like 2016 and 2015 and like when you and I were doing other shit, like and now what? And now it's at a point now where it's reaching beyond political shit. This is reaching like some deadly shit.
This is reaching authoritarianism. This is reaching like a point. This is like if we're just gonna keep going as if these things that are happening is just gonna keep being another day. Like it was funny because the thing that happened before the Georgia elections, right, was the phone call with the Georgia Secretary of State, him begging for the votes, right? I need 11,780 votes, right? That alone, and people say this all the time, and I get it, people say it all the time, but like, I think this is so true. Like, if this would have been Obama, if it would have been Bush, if it would have been Clinton, this would have been nonstop news coverage, nonstop going on and on and on forever. But, unfortunately, we got to the point with Trump where Trump can make that kind of phone call and it's just another Tuesday. And then we should have really been reading the steps to begin with. I mean, he even tweeted about this whole like rally happening on January 6th way back like a few weeks ago. And, it's just crazy that I think if it would have been, I mean, we saw it earlier this year in movies, right? With the trial of Chicago 7, they literally loosely put these random people together and say they organized a whole demonstration. And meanwhile, we literally see the proof happening in front of our eyes of Trump actually doing that. And he's not being put on trial. He's not having the same consequences reprimanded towards him. And I think, that's a shame. I mean, I think, if the politicians were strong, they'd all be calling for the 25th Amendment to remove him out of office. I know it's only 14 days left, but you got to do something. You got to show that this stuff can't fly, or he got to get locked up or something like that. But either way, it's just, it's sad because all the signs are there. The police were there. You see the video of the police literally opening up the gates for the people to go in. And, the fact that, and this is the fact that, it was online too, the fact that 86% of police officers are actually Trump supporters themselves. Yeah, I mean, they're playing on the same team. There's that video of one cop taking a selfie with one of the people, so it just goes to show like they're all playing on the same team. It's all hate going back and forth. Now police officers dead. 4 people who were at that demonstration are dead, and this is lives are being lost at the sake of this. So,
and everything you guys just said, when we look at this type of situation, the people that participated in this, they didn't care about hiding their faces, hiding their identities. They're doing interviews. They're posting pictures on social media. They're wearing their work ID badge. Like, they know they're indestructible. They know that they're not going to be targeted in the same way as if it was anybody else. Because, like, the cops, just like RB3 said, the cops are taking selfies with them. They're not taking this seriously. This isn't the same case. There's so many ridiculous things I've seen online. Like, there was one woman that was like rubbing her eyes with onions to make it seem like she was maced, and she was talking to reporters, and then they saw her rubbing her eyes with a freaking onion. It's like they want to be oppressed so badly, but they know that they won't. So that's why they continue to be able to do what they do and do it with pride and do it the way that they do, because they don't care about being identified. They're like, what's going to happen? Nothing. They're not going to face the repercussions, the same repercussions that any other group, like any people of color, Black, Indigenous, nobody, they will not face those repercussions. It's just so ridiculous to see this just blatantly happen. And like RB3 said, they let him in, and people were at risk. People were in that building. Something terrible could have happened. They found multiple bombs that, like, at first they said could have been phonies, and then there was another report that they're probably not actually. There could have been so much more damage because of what happened. And like, so even with the damage there was, it was minimal to the amount that could have happened. It's just messed up to see. Like, I don't even know how to put this type of thing into words.
Yeah, the problem is it's not usually when we see groups like this, white terrorist domestic groups. It's led by some, you know, outside force. It's like this KKK organization. This is the damn president of the United States. Like, this is the person who is instigating all this shit. This isn't some, you know, weirdo who lives out in Arkansas and St. Louis or some shit like that. This is straight up the guy who lives in the White House. That's the most dangerous part of this whole thing, is the idea of being indestructible and being protected because you are the most powerful person in the world. Shouldn't it be the opposite? Shouldn't you be the most accountable? Shouldn't you be the one who has the most responsibility on your side? So that to me is so dangerous, and that's why I've been so vocal against this entire thing that's been going on for years, and I feel like it's been needing to be spoken up about for years because of shit like this. I told MB3, I texted him when it happened yesterday. I saw this coming. I knew this was coming. I've told my roommate, I've told my parents, I was like, you know it's coming, right? This is the kind of stuff that's been in the making. It's been mapped out by their own campaign team. Like, this isn't even a movement that is planned in the shadows. This is straight up like on Facebook. This is straight up on their own Trump campaign, where it's like, come join this rally, let's raise hell. I mean, how do you define raise hell, man? Apparently what they did yesterday is what it was. But my thing is, like, when you have these kind of who worship someone to the pointliness and they declare him as their own savior and God and this Q shit, whatever it is, that's when you know it's going to get dangerous. And sure enough, it has. The problem is it hasn't ended. The problem is it isn't over. But what needs to be done is be a little bit more, I don't know, man, to be honest, be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more straightforward, a little bit more strong in what we need to do with this, because it can't keep going on like that. And it's the problem. I mean, obviously, I think someone said in the chat way earlier, I don't know who it was. In fact, let me see if I can pull it up. But the problem is, like, we got Biden coming in, and it's not exactly like the best thing, but it's Philip Hunt. He's sending a super chat. What up, Philip Hunt? It says, it sucks at this large moment in history, the savior is Joe Biden. He'll forget about this in a day and pretend the Republicans are fine. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's probably true. Maybe not a day, maybe like a good 10 days. But I don't know if you have thoughts on that.
You know, there's definitely, this is definitely a time that we could have used, you know, leadership or whatever. And I think Joe's a good leader. I think Joe Biden's a good enough leader that he's going to help us get through this pandemic, you know, for the rest of the way. I think we are going to see a significant amount of better distribution of the vaccine, because that's also what, to me, that's also a controversy that's been rattling my mind too. I don't know if y'all heard, there's like they had like 14 million vaccines in like New York or something like that, but only distributed like 2.5 million. And the rest are just sitting in like a storage facility, like potentially about to expire. Like, what are we doing? Like, we got this far into the thing. We've sat in and had this going on for this long, and we can't even get to the point where we're pushing it out to people. Like, that's, you know, this is just fundamental failings of the government. And I think at the very least, Joe will be better at that than Trump, right? Of course, like, you know, it would be great to see, you know, somebody like a Bernie or Elizabeth Warren, who will be more of a crusading, I think, hero in terms of, you know, maybe prosecuting some of these people or whatever. But at the same time, you know, I think there's a point, I think, for me, I probably, you know, early in this process, I would have been more like, just go for it, just lock them up, whatever. At this point, let's let the story end. You know what I mean? Because I feel like at this point, potentially arresting somebody or doing whatever they got to do is going to be the right thing in the sight of the Constitution, all that. But it's only going to lead to further divide. And there's like 35% of the country who will never leave Trump's side, no matter what is said, no matter how many lawsuits you lose. So it's tough. Like, I can see, you know, part of me wants that strong leader who's going to, you know, take this all out and show that we're going a different direction. But there's also part of me that knows that that's probably never going to happen. So
I think he should be in jail, if I'm being honest, man. And I get where you're coming from, where you're like, if he does, how much you want to bet that there's going to be some crazy guys who are going to try and break him out of prison or something. Yeah. Like, that's probably guaranteed to happen. You know that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it does It does set a precedent. I saw this report, and it's like a 5-minute report, but they did the whole debate of like, should we try and prosecute Trump once he's out or not? And they did the whole, like what you said, like if we try, it gives him more attention, it gets his followers riled up. If we don't, it does set a precedent that the president is like unstoppable and he can do whatever the hell he wants. Including crimes, including whatever he wants inside the White House, out the House, before the White House, after the White House. Like, is that really the message we want to send as a system of government? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
It's a hard debate. It's tough. It's not as easy as it is. But to me, I've been wanting to see this guy in jail since forever. So I think he should be
I agree.
for many crimes he's done. So.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I also think that a lot of the people who are caught in these situations should also go to jail because a lot of them cross state lines to be there.
Yes.
And we saw in the trial of Chicago 7, you cross state lines to incite or participate in a riot or whatever. That's exactly what this was. Even worse than we saw in trial of Chicago 7. So I really hope that they actually receive the punishment. But the audacity all of them had with identifying themselves everywhere, I just hope we see it. I don't know if we actually will.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, this whole situation is, it's depressing. It's terrible, and it's been in the making for a minute, man. I again, this is something that I've been seeing happen forever. How many white domestic acts of terror have we seen over the past 10 years? And then what has happened these past 4 or 5 years is escalated times 10 when it comes to racial injustice, when it comes to police killings, when it comes to racial profiling, when it comes to laws that go against immigrants, when it comes to laws that go against legal immigrants. It's trying to get people out of the country when they're literally fleeing from danger from their own country. That's been happening for 4 or 5 years that a lot of people haven't been talking about. And at the same time, when it comes to these type of people who feel like they're owed the power because of their own privilege, and when they don't get it, they can literally rise up, take arms, and do what they want to do. And that's not how it works. And calling these protests also a thing that's been an issue too, because a protest is something like Black Lives Matter marching down the street and saying, hey, we're tired of being shot just because we're black. Not, we lost the presidency, so now we're going to burn down this house because we can do what we want.
Yeah.
So this isn't a protest. And
by the way, and there's so many disingenuous, dishonest people on the right who are comparing this to the Black Lives Matter thing, right? And it's not even on the same scale, right? And it's not even on the same scale just for the simple fact of this, like, what the FBI considers the most radical, black organization, at least like during its height, was the Black Panther Party, right? How many people did the Black Panthers kill? Zero. No people died ever, but yet they're considered a terrorist organization by the FBI. But in this case, in this literal yesterday, we saw 4 people lose their lives at the expense of being caught in this like cult-like behavior. So I hope that the in fact, nobody was killed as a result from the Black Panther Party. They actually went after the leader and shot him up, and assassinated Huey Newton. So it's these, I'm saying all that to say, like, I hope the FBI comes as hard on these people as they did on the black revolutionaries who are actually fighting for something that actually mattered. And I hope that they go as hard on the people who are fighting in the Black Lives Matter because I don't know if people have you been following some of these stories. They've been going after people. They've been taking away people's businesses. They've been targeting people's bank accounts and all sorts of ways who participated and peacefully protesting for the Black Lives Matter movements. There's even times where they are going after restaurants who are serving water to protesters. There's been literal, FBI things about that and big lawsuits about that. But in the meantime, I'm just saying that I hope that they are willing to go after these people the same way, because this is 10 times worse than anything that anybody, from our community has ever done. So
yeah, not even in the same way. They need to hit so much harder in this situation, because a lot of these people are breaking so many laws. This guy walked out with an envelope from Nancy Pelosi's desk, a piece of her mail, and is waving it around like it's absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
There's so many possible breaches of security. It is just the most ridiculous thing. Somebody was going through like a senator's phone or whatever. It's insane. Exactly what RB3 said. It's like we were protesting the like unlawful murder of Black lives, and these people are protesting an election, and they're all riled up. They're talking about civil war. They've been wearing this propaganda for a while. I didn't really see any of this. I don't follow Trump on Twitter, but this has been a thing with like Republican, like TikTok with younger people and Facebook and things like that, where they've been talking about January 6th. And I had absolutely no idea. But yeah, they're literally calling it civil war. And we have like conservative influencers or whatever on Twitter saying like, posting a picture with like a AK-47 in their hand, and then saying like, oh, we're going to show up and show out on January 6th. Like, they're not going to see what's coming. We're raising hell.
Crazy.
And then posting a video yesterday like, oh, but don't do anything violent. It's like, you can't have your propaganda be full of guns and be violent and then expect everybody not to act that way. You are in the wrong, and you have blood on your hands because of it. There is a large group, some of them armed, like I don't know how much, a lot of them were armed. That's a freaking crime. You cannot do that. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And that's the thing, is that there also just needs to be a control on the entire like QAnon, that conservative Twitter, conservative social media, just ways to kind of make sure that these types of acts of violence aren't happening. These types of acts of like inciting a riot, things like that. This shouldn't be organized on a social media platform, talked about for so long, and then let slide like that. This shouldn't happen at all, period.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's so much to be discussed about as far as the future of all this and where this is going down. I mean, it definitely is what you said, Sabrina, in the very beginning. It's going to take a minute. I'm not saying it's necessarily, over or whatever, and let's burn down the bridge and all that jazz, but it's definitely going to take a while to rebuild any type of semblance of sanity inside this structure that we have. And to be honest, man, I really do give so much benefit of the doubt to everyone and usually in almost any situation, even when it comes to riots, even when it comes to protests and all that shit. Like, do your shit, bro. Do your jazz. Do what you got to do. Like, some people are always like, oh, why are you guys? Honestly, go for it. I'm low key the kind of guy who's like, do your shit, talk your shit, bro. If you want to protest Walmart having socks that you don't like, go for it. But my thing is like, this is like a whole different scale, and people comparing this to a protest. This ain't no protest, man. This ain't no protest. Protest isn't doing this when literally every single aspect of an election was measured, remeasured again, measured again, doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down, and then finally when they did their final Mike Pence, a-hole idiot that he is, and he had to be like, oh, bro, it's over. That's when you have to be like, all right, it's over. You can't keep protesting something that's not there. And that's something that always, I don't know, it gets me. Why it's not, that's when it doesn't become a protest.
They believe it's there. They believe they have the evidence. They don't present any, but they believe they have it somewhere.
Yeah. And then, there's some of these people, I don't know if y'all saw the pictures that literally people had zip ties. Like, people brought in zip ties, well, I assume to take hostages of people in the House and in Congress, Like, their intent was, there was no good intent happening. You don't break into a Capitol building with any good intent. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't get, this situation. It just sucks, man. It just garbage.
And it goes to show too, the low-key scared me. I was like, what the hell's that? Who's here? The double standard, man. It really is there, bro. Because I honestly still feel like, man, imagine the type of carnage, that's the word that would be used to describe it if it was a bunch of black protesters or anything else. It would have been carnage if it was Middle Eastern brothers or Latinos, or it would have been like straight up like blood on the street. But it wasn't, because they just give him the benefit of the doubt. They were like, oh, you want to go inside and take a tour? Go for it. Kick the door down. Why not? Sure. like that's when it starts to become a little bit sus. And a little bit messed up. So either way, we have to move on, and we have to move on to greener pastures.
Yeah.
Obviously, 2021 has been only a few days, and yet it has given us so much to talk about, both really, really bad and both kind of good. AKA Suns are currently #1 in the league. So shout out to my Phoenix Suns. I'm always gonna do it, man. Hey, bro, we #1. What's the problem, man? What we gonna do?
Nothing wrong with being #1. Lakers is close behind. But I do before we move totally away from the sad news, I do want to give a shout out. Well, for two, not shout outs necessarily, but for one, I'm thinking about Dr. Dre and his family. I hope everything's okay with Dr. Dre. I
hear he's doing better.
Yeah. I heard he's doing better, and I hope he has a good recovery, speedy recovery, and I hope it's not too much permanent long term damage, because brain aneurysms, very serious business. And also, rest in peace to MF Doom. That news came out the last day of 2020, and there's no way nobody saw it coming. I mean, he died 2 months previously and just announced it on the last day of 2020. But it was tough. I actually used to listen to a lot of MF Doom in high school, so I really it's hard to process, but rest in peace to him.
So many musicians lost, man. I mean, obviously over the past few years we've lost a couple rappers. I'm still getting over Juice. I love Juice.
Yeah,
Juice WRLD's my boy, man.
Yeah.
So
it's the shadows in my room. No,
hey.
It's a bop.
Destiny's moaning. She's like, all right, turn that off,
bro. His post song, the one that came out after he died, is the banger. It's a banger, bro. It's called Righteous. You know that song?
Yeah.
That's his best one, and it came out like low key after he died too. So, R.I.P. to them. Obviously, a lot of sad news coming there. Oh, a big shout out to Stacey Abrams. Mac Miller too. Stacey Abrams in Georgia.
Yeah,
Georgia.
No.
I feel like that was. I'm gonna keep doing it every time I say Georgia. I'm Georgia. But big shout out to Stacey, man. I feel like I've been talking about, or at least I personally been talking about Fair Fight for a minute. About a year and a half. I think it's been going on for a while, right? But it all led up to this. I don't know. You guys know about Fair Fight, right?
Yes.
Stacey. Okay. But it all kind of led up to this moment in Georgia. A lot closer than it should have been. My God, I was texting RB3 and I was like, what is going on? I thought this was going to be way different. I have no idea how anyone could vote for Purdue, but okay.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. And then at least it worked out in the end, and obviously still razor close, but a lot of good stuff coming there.
The fact that Georgia was previously seen as like a deep red state, and now has had pretty much a full conversion. I think part of it is I feel personally, vindicated and validated by this. I think partially what helped this election with both of them winning is the fact that they kind of ran on like the $2,000 check thing, right? Like at the end, you saw all the Democrats going nonstop, $2,000 check, $2,000 check. If we win these two, drop my phone. If we win these two seats, we get $2,000 checks. To me, as a lefty or progressive or whatever, that shows me that people are always going to vote for the thing that's going to benefit them the most, regardless of political ideology. I think people have a general understanding and follow these things close enough to at least know, what direction, they should be going in. So I'm glad to see that. I'm also glad to see the Reverend Woroff dude, because he actually seems like a really, really cool dude.
Yeah.
Like he actually seems like a really, really cool like pastor dude. And he actually preaches at Martin Luther King's church too, by the way. That I used to preach at. And both of those Georgia winners worked in the office of John Lewis at one point or another. So that's really, really cool.
That's what I saw. I don't know how to pronounce this. Asif?
Yeah, John Asif.
Asif. Yeah, he was an intern. So that's really, really cool that is kind of just, like being brought down like that, like legacy of John Lewis.
And it also the first black senator from Georgia ever elected, and John Ossoff is the youngest senator ever in U.S. history at 33.
There you go. Yeah, to me, it shows, like you said, RB3, like states like Georgia, who have been long looked at as always red, are changing over because of growing cities and because of black people that live there showing up, and because of people like Stacey Abrams and AZ. I'm always going to give a shout out to AZ because I feel like not enough people have been talking about where my state is, Arizona.
Of course, absolutely.
And all the brown people here, the Navajo Nation, who came out in massive numbers, bigger numbers than ever before, and the Latinos who for years have been here working their asses off in Arizona, in thankless jobs and kicking ass in other huge jobs and taking over schools and taking over communities for years. Because I mean, I've been in Arizona for years, man, so I know this. And I've seen the progress that's happened in the past 10, 12 years that I've been in AZ. And it is because of brown people. So shout out to those two states, shout out to those two movements, shout outs to organizers who actually get that stuff going. So thank you guys. Thank you for doing that. Alrighty, moving on to greener pastures. The Phoenix Suns, I'm playing.
Oh my God.
Still, man, that's a big deal. Phoenix Suns have been bad for like 12 years or 15 years. Come on now.
Yeah.
Give me my small victory.
Yeah, you're getting there. Y'all running. You're on the run.
Also, let's talk about what we announced. Did we announce it? We did announce it.
We
Yeah.
did announce it.
Okay. Let's talk about what we announced a couple weeks ago. That is gonna happen. The clock is ticking. Finally, guys, our Patreon is officially happening. We are doing a First Cut Patreon filled with the best perks you can ever imagine for First Cut fans, for people who just love film fans in general. Sabrina, take it away.
Hey, so like we kind of introduced before, we're gonna have the First Cut Patreon live just in a few days. So just keep up with us on social media, and we'll be posting all about that. Really, really exciting. I don't know if we're introducing a few of the things that could possibly be options if they decide to join.
Yeah, of course.
You all cool with that? Okay. So a few really, really cool things that we're going to include with the Patreon are some video essays. We're going to have film commentary every single month. We're going to have exclusive live streams, things like that. There's so many perks, plus a Discord. And as somebody who's very new to Discord, just a few months ago I started with it. I've absolutely loved it to connect with people and just have really, really great conversations about film. So like Andre said, whether you're like a fan of ours and you keep up with our videos, or if you're just a fan of film in general, there's going to be so much available for you guys to really sink your teeth into and enjoy.
Yeah, RB3, you have another announcement, right?
Once again, asking for your financial support.
Yeah, we need as much of your help as we possibly can get. That was the great Bernie Sanders, by the way.
It scared me again.
I think. Okay, wait. What are we announcing? Yes, I think with a Patreon, we are gonna be able to do more things in terms of having more options to stream with. We, on top of starting a Patreon, we've already introduced some of these things throughout the week already. We also are starting a TikTok, which you can follow on First Cut TMO. Andres has a beautiful one talking about his top 5 favorite TV shows of 2020. And then we also are going to be doing our Citizen Kane videos, uploading on TikTok as well. And then on top of TikTok, we're switching over to another platform that also starts with a T, and that's Twitch. We are going to be streaming on Twitch going forward. It's actually going to kick off this Sunday with Andres's show, A Talk on Titan, with Ben Goddard, and they're going to be talking that big talk. Sabrina, we talked about the video essays, right?
Yes, we did talk about the video essays. Do we want to get into the specific one that's coming?
Yeah. Just to bring it up.
RB3 says yeah, then yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm here for it. Let's lift that curtain. But yeah, I'm coming out with a one about Promising Young Woman for this month, and then we'll have a lot of really great ones going forward that we're already planning. So really exciting stuff. Anyone who's seen Promising Young Woman knows that it is a lot to talk about, a lot to digest in that. So it feels like a review wouldn't even do it justice. I'm really excited to tackle a lot of the topics because a lot of the people who I see talking about it really aren't getting into the nitty gritty. And that is coming on VOD January 15th. So a lot of people are going to be able to finally watch this film. Wow, so exciting! But that's going to be mine for this month.
Yeah,
amazing.
And we're gonna have video essays every month on our Patreon. And if you are a we're gonna announce our tiers very soon, but if you are at a certain tier, you will be able to access those video essays early, as well as getting our podcast early, as well as I mean, we got some other things going. I mean, I don't know if we want to spill the whole enchilada here, y'all. I mean, that's up to y'all, but
I
we
mean,
can do a little tease.
Yeah.
Can we?
Do a little.
What enchilada are we talking about, bro?
I don't know. I mean, it's up to y'all. I mean,
We're talking code right now.
yeah. It's the
Betting 3 points, 5 points, 2 points
I
in the
think I'm
betting
gonna go
round.
red. I'm gonna go red.
yeah, Jedi leader 14. That's the option. You know.
Yeah, Jedi leader 14.
I
Yeah.
don't know what those code words they be doing in the show now.
Yeah.
But yeah, people. So make sure you support us. We're going to be launching it very, very soon. Follow us all on social media for the announcements that are going to come. There's going to be a lot more announcements too. And I'm sorry.
Just a few days away.
Just a few days away.
Yeah, so for the Discord, Sabrina, just because, I mean, obviously we're live, but we can still kind of finesse our way through it. What can people expect with that as far as like, how does this, explain to me what Discord is on First Cut Live.
It's like talking to my grandma. No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
But yeah, so we'll have our specific Discord, and there's going to be lots of different channels. So there's going to be channels exclusive to different tiers in the Patreon, because obviously there's different content to talk about when we're talking about our exclusive tiers and what they offer. So there's going to be those. Obviously, we'll have a general chat. We'll have a lot of film discussions. We'll have channels that really just include a lot of different stuff. It's definitely going to be very broad, and we're just kind of excited to build that type of community that is able to even just engage with each other, whether it's not with the three of us. But I just want to have that conversation with all of you guys and see that conversation go down in the Discord in our separate channels. So there's going to be so much available. We could have like spoiler talks. We could have like Marvel TV talk when we have like WandaVision, stuff like that coming out. We could have a Star Wars channel. Obviously, you know, Andres is all about that. So there's going to be a lot that we're going to offer within the Discord. And I'm just really excited to introduce that to you guys and to see the kind of discussion that's going to go down, especially with people who watch our content. This is another way for all of us to engage.
Yeah, I'm sold. You got me, Sabrina.
Yeah, I'm gonna be subscribing to the First Cut Patreon, and you should too. This week we're gonna be dropping it very, very soon, y'all. So watch out. Make sure to support again. And if you want to support today's show, you could do that at the link at the top of the description, firstcut.live. Any $10 plus donation will be read out loud by the robot. And and that includes the super chats too, $10 plus donations and super chats. Or if you can't support monetarily, or if you want to wait until our Patreon, you know, comes up and pops up, save you money for that too. But if you can't support either of those ways, just do us the biggest favor in the entire world and like this video, like this stream. It really gets in front of more people, it gets in front of more eyes. We have a good chunk of 30 something people watching right now. Let's, you know, if there are days when we do like when I keep promoting the likes where we start off at like 26, 28 and we end up at like 50, because it's the algorithm, people. The algorithm, the more the likes, it shows up in more people's feeds. So that's really, you know, the likes really help. So make sure to like this video. And again, firstcut.live. We actually do have a comment from it's not from this show. It's actually, I feel bad. It's from it's from the Attack on Titan show. But I'm
afraid to hear it now because I always think everything's a spoiler.
Oh really? I mean,
I'm always like, oh damn, no.
Are the Attack on Titan fans? Are they here? Let us know in the chat if you're Attack on Titan fans.
If you are here, yeah, let me know. I would love to hear you guys sound off, because apparently this Sunday is going to be huge. Again, I haven't read the manga, so I don't know. But everyone keeps telling me like, bro, you're not ready, bro. You're not ready. And I'm just like, okay, I don't know what's happening, but apparently something big's happening. I am so afraid of Attack on Titan spoilers, because there do be some manga readers who are very much eager to spoil everything. Like, my God.
Hey, and I mean, on the Discord, we'll definitely have an Attack on Titan channel as well, and hopefully no spoilers in that one.
Yeah, so it's so tricky because obviously the manga's already way ahead. The manga's already way ahead. but the anime is like super behind, so that's why everyone's like hurrying the anime along. But I love it, man. I low key like our next segment is what you have been watching for us. And I gotta be honest, guys, I'm rewatching so many episodes of Attack on Titan. Oh, awesome. We have one? Or no?
I mean, I'm trying to get it to read out. I don't know what the.
Oh, no worries. But yes, that's what I've been rewatching recently is a lot of season 2 of Attack on Titan, a couple episodes from season 3. Part of it is just me kind of taking in the animation because there are different animation studios in all 3 seasons. I think it's all 3 seasons. Yeah. Season 1, season 2, and season 3, and season 4. Season 1 and 2 have the same animation studio. Season 3 has a different one, and then season 4 has Mappa, which everyone's obsessed with. And each of these animation studios have a very distinct drawing depiction of the main characters, and I was kind of paying attention to that because I'm a weirdo and a nerd and someone who loves Attack on Titan. So I was going back and rewatching season 2 and 3.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I watch Attack on Titan obviously with you and Ben, and I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but I'm here for it.
Yeah. So Sabrina, what have you been watching this past few weeks? I know you've been doing the whole promising young woman thing, which I will get to eventually. I keep telling you I'm going to watch it, and I never do.
I know. Both of you guys have to watch it.
I watched it. I didn't watch it.
Oh, he saw it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but don't.
Destiny and I did watch it. Yes.
I'm watching it tonight.
I'm not gonna say anything.
I'm watching it tonight.
I'm not going to say anything about it at all. But yeah, I've just been catching up on 2020 movies that I've missed because obviously we're going to be making our best of the year pretty soon. Definitely in the next couple of weeks. We're just kind of waiting so that all of us can check out the films that we want to. But yeah, just hitting up all of those really, really great stuff. Few misses, and I'm really excited to get into it.
Have you seen so far for like movies that you missed that you're catching up on?
Wow. I finally watched Nomadland, obviously Promising Young Woman, Black Bear with Aubrey Plaza. That was one that I
was going to see that. That's on my list. Yeah.
Yeah, and Another Round with Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh yeah, I was going to see that too.
Yeah.
I keep seeing dancing go around.
Yeah, see, this is definitely the stuff that we have to check out before we make our best of the year list because me and RB3 both set ours on SEN last Friday, I believe, and like it was still solid. This is definitely a solid year in movies. I don't understand when people are saying that, that they haven't seen enough this year. I think there is a lot of really great stuff available. There's definitely just more that we want to consume just in case it ends up on our list. So I have that one, and obviously Sound of Metal as well is one that I checked out and I really enjoyed. I watched Kajillionaire earlier and didn't dig it. I don't know. It's just, I don't know if that was for me. Maybe I was just one of the people that missed out. If anybody watched any of these films, please let me know what you think.
Yeah, let us know in the chat.
I'm not really doing any reviews or anything right now. I'm just kind of...
we're just saying what we watched.
Yeah, just kind of listing out. I started Normal People on Hulu. I thought that was really, really great so far. It's based off of a book. I believe the author, her name is Sally Rooney. Could be wrong, but yeah, it's just about a couple. It's one of those love stories. You know me. I love that kind of stuff.
I can't do it. Yeah.
I don't know how you can't. I freaking love it.
Yeah.
That is so funny. But yeah, just a lot of that stuff. I watched When Harry Met Sally for the first time a few days ago.
Ooh.
Yeah, for the first time ever. I had no idea how much I was going to like it. I really just thought it would be just like any standard rom-com, but this one, first of all, Carrie Fisher is incredible in it. I love Carrie Fisher so much, so I enjoyed her performance. But overall, it like played into all the tropes that you expect, but it stays away from like cliches. And so it was really refreshing. And it's funny to say that about a movie that's been out for a few decades, but it was really a refreshing watch for me. But yeah.
I'll echo you for a couple. I saw Minari obviously for the first time, based off that screener. Absolutely enjoyed it, loved it. Obviously, we'll talk about that later. I saw a couple animated movies that I wanted to see. DC animated movies that I always kind of watch every year. I'm gonna probably break the chat right now if anyone is a fan of DC animated movies. I wasn't the biggest fan of the final Justice League movie. I forgot what it was called. It's something like not War, Endgame. I don't know, something like that. War Endgame. I don't know. It was too much for me. But I did see.
Donated $10. Bars. Sing us more bars. Also give us the Patreon. I'm too woke for the other schmoes old ass discords. For example.
I could not hear any of that. Sorry.
That was amazing. What was that?
I don't know. That one just came
no
with a
idea.
voice for some reason. I don't know what's going on with that one. But
Wait, did you hear the music, RB3?
yeah. I don't know what that one.
Can you read it out so we can hear what he said?
Cinema Gorilla donated $10. This is one I've been trying to reread for a minute. Sing more bars. Sing us more bars. Also give us Patreon. I'm too woke for the other schmoes old ASS discourse, for example.
Yeah, I don't know about singing, man. I'll give some raps for you guys, for the kids. I feel so old every time. Like, I don't know. I swear my hip hop era is so old compared to like the new one, so it's not even funny how different it is. It's so different. Yeah.
Wow. I'm just blown away by the music. Let me see if I have to.
I don't know how. That was awesome. This is the first time I've ever seen anything like this.
Okay, let me try it one more time, y'all. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the show. Here we go, one more time.
No, this is awesome.
One more time. Give me 1 second here. Let's see, it's gonna. Oh, there we go. Oh no, there we go.
Cinema Gorilla donated $10. Bars. Sing us more bars. Also give us the Patreon. I'm too woke for the other schmoes old ass discords. For example.
There we go. Thank you, Cinema Gorilla. And if you want to donate and want to see a struggle to read your donation on air, firstcut.live, $10 and up.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in that corny era where like people think I'm corny because of the music I like. I'm reaching a point now, bro, where I swear, man, I haven't kept up with music this year, like at all. I'm barely getting onto Cuddy's new album. Man,
I listened to that a little bit.
I'm about maybe like 2-3 songs in, like barely getting into it. I'm listening to I listened to SZA's new single.
Oh, that's a good one.
Apparently, she's dropping a new album. Shout out to my girl SZA.
Yeah.
I keep tweeting about like R&B, like female R&B artists to see if they're single. On Twitter. I don't know if you guys have caught that on my tweets.
You guys shoot your shot.
I started with Kalani. I was like, yo, Kalani, what's up? And then I was like, 2 nights ago, I was like, yo, SZA, what's up? So tonight, you just never know.
Yeah, just keep doing your thing. Shoot your shot. One day
shot.
we might be doing like a First Cut Live, and then we might see like SZA pop up in the background, like Andres, like, you want some coffee? Or something like that. So who knows?
And me and my awkward ass will happily oblige. Yeah, that's my you guys are seeing my kryptonite being displayed on First Cut Live. It's R&B, female artist.
Nah, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with a little R&B. What else? So what have I watched? I don't know. I did watch Promising Young Woman as well. I watched No Man's Land as well, which I thought was very fascinating and very thought provoking. I could potentially.
Chloe Zhao.
Yeah.
Chloe Zhao. Oh my gosh, absolute powerhouse. Phenomenal directing.
Yeah.
And editing.
Yeah, she did edit the film herself, which was actually really dope. You could kind of tell.
Oh, cool.
I do, a little birdie told me that, her new Marvel movie was incredible too. So, but I do want to say that, out of all the movies I've seen so far this year, or I've seen, I guess, in 2020, there hasn't been one that like still stood out to me like fully just yet. Like I like No Man's Land a lot, and I like Promising Young Woman a good amount too. But I'm still looking for that one that's really kind of pushes me and really like, I don't know, because I feel like we haven't seen that movie yet, and I feel like
that's a good point.
I don't know.
Are we gonna get that though with screeners on our laptop?
Yeah,
I don't know if we are.
Saying. I think a lot of these experiences, like imagine just as like RB3U being one of the people, obviously Andres hasn't seen it yet, but imagine Promising Young Woman in a theater. I tweeted about it and Rachel Cushing was like, this would have been like Marvel movie level, but for women. I would have loved to see everybody's reactions. I would have loved to see both of your reactions, just how because like I watched it at home, like on my TV and stuff, but it just doesn't capture that same experience. And I think that's what's missing. So I've tried to be objective from that standpoint, because I understand it's like everything's just a little bit underwhelming because we don't have that communal experience. We don't have the big screen, you know, the like not really comfy chairs, like the weird hip positions we got to go in. I miss that. I miss having like a cramp in my side because my hips are all weird in a chair. I want to be in a theater so badly.
Yeah, I'm pretty I'm a weirdo when it comes to watching movies, but when I'm in a theater, I straight up just like I'm in, right? I like straight up cross my arms and just watch the movie. Versus when I was watching Minari, I mean, I'm getting up to grab a snack and stuff and all that jazz. But I mean, I still really love the movie, but I just feel like a theater experience. Well, I don't know if we're ever going to get that RB theater, but that's a good point. I don't think I've seen a movie this year either that has really shook me yet. I mean, a few movies got close, like Never Rarely and Vast of Night are probably the two.
Last Night was great.
Have you guys seen Ma Rainey's yet?
No.
I haven't seen that one yet. No.
Let me give a shout out to my DC animated films. I saw Superman Man of Tomorrow, which I really enjoyed. And then I saw Superman Red Son, which is the whole, like, what would happen if Superman was born in Soviet Russia. Really interesting. I actually kind of enjoyed both, like, a lot more than I thought I would. And then I saw The Assistant, which is a movie that came out January 2020.
Yeah.
Literally a year ago. Mm-hmm. I remember because it came out at the ArcLight with, what's her name? Ruth from, what's her name? I'm messing it up already. She's incredible. I think she's one of the best actresses right now, and I'm forgetting her name. Let me look it up real quick. You guys know who I'm talking about? Julia Gardner.
Oh,
yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Ruth. Who's
I love
Ruth?
her.
When did she play Ruth?
In that the freaking Netflix show that I love, Ozark. Yes,
I haven't seen it.
she's like
But you
she's
just
won
said it like she's Ruth, and we're like, okay.
because she's so good in that show. Like she's won 2 Emmys off that, and honestly, like well deserved. Like when she won that first Emmy, I was like, like that girl like made me cry. Like no one can make me cry as much as Julia Gardner can in Ozark. She is that, like, she shakes you to your core. She's so freaking good. But in The Assistant, I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's about a Hollywood assistant. It's a really short film, really quiet, but it's one of the most realist movies I've seen all year. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart as someone who worked at a production company and saw the two-facedness of it all, and saw the side comments, the sexist comments that have always come up, some stuff that, like, being in those rooms, I mean, obviously I've told you guys a few stories off screen, but being in those rooms where I literally had to say, like, yo, what are you guys on right now, because y'all saying some bullshit. I have said that to people to their face because I've heard some shit that I'm just so shocked by. And that movie kind of discusses the weird power dynamic that exists in Hollywood, and that obviously has been made very famous with the Me Too movement. So that's what the movie's about. Yeah. Anything else?
Well, I watched this. I started the series on Hulu called A Teacher. With
I've seen trailers for that. Yeah, with Kate Mara.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a little. I mean, just the synopsis was a little alluring.
It's a little much, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle Kate Mara being my teacher.
Oh, you can't handle the show then.
I can't handle it. I'm just playing. I'm playing, guys. I'm playing. It's a joke. If it was
Rooney
Mara, it's a different story. If it was Rooney Mara, I'd be dead, bro. Oh
yeah, you risk it all.
I'd be like that Yoshi rolling down the hill, like straight up.
Yeah,
dead.
Man.
Yeah, I would risk it all. I definitely would.
Yeah, the teacher's interesting. Also, what I didn't know is, you know, if you have the Hulu, like the base level plan or whatever, they show you ads. But if you watch something that's Hulu, that's FX on Hulu, they don't give you any ads. Don't give you any ads.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, don't give you any ads.
That's crazy, because I also do Hulu a lot. Obviously for Attack on Titan, that's where Attack on Titan is. I started Industry. on
I started
HBO.
that too. I started that too.
It's a weird ass show, but I kind of like it.
You got to get into The Undoing though. Come on, man. You got to watch The Undoing.
I want to, man, but look at my TV list. Is wild. Like, this is my TV list right now, off the dome. Queen's Gambit. I started the pilot.
I gotta watch
one. I still have to finish Selena. I haven't finished it. I'm gonna finish it just literally because I grew up with Selena. Industry. What else is on my list? The Warrior show that everyone keeps telling me to watch because it's a martial arts show, and I'm a martial arts guy, and I love martial arts with all my heart. There's just so many shows, man, that I'm just like, now I got to start The Undoing. Come on, man. Give me a break, bro.
The Undoing is like Knives Out, but like dramatic. You know what I mean? Not funny. It's Knives Out, but not funny. And then, but I like the industry one. I want to get into Queen's Gambit. In fact, Destiny, you watched the Selena show, right? Yeah, Selena. Yeah, so Destiny saw Selena. But
I'm gonna finish it.
Yeah, I don't know what there's I'm trying to figure out another TV show I'm trying to watch too, because I don't know, I'm behind on TV, but at the same time
I'm behind on anime too.
Yeah, I'm behind on TV, but at the same time I don't know if there's any noteworthy TV.
Speaking of movies, if you haven't got a chance yet, check out Possessor. Such a great movie that made my top 5 of 2020. How great to see you all. Much love to all three of you.
Who was this?
That was Nolan De Palma. Thank you, Nolan De Palma, for the generous donation. Again, $10 plus donations will be read out loud by the text to speech. And we also do have this one from, I found the Attack on Titan's one undressed. I'm going to read that one real quick. Oh, no spoilers.
You guys are awesome. Love having a space to talk chaos. Please continue this and more anime goodness.
Thank you. Who was that?
That was Zirin G.
So here's my thing, man. I saw a comment on our Attack on Titan video, and I was going to send it to Ben, but I'll just say it on here, where some guy was like, you guys keep talking about spoilers and not wanting to read the comments because of spoilers. Wouldn't it be cool if you had a mod who read the manga who can like moderate the comments? And I was like, yes, I would love that. Oh yeah, I would absolutely love that. But obviously that's something we can talk about off screen. But
yeah. I try to do that, but I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's hard.
But wait, back to Nolan's. Have you guys heard of Possessor or checked it out or anything like that?
I haven't seen it. I have. It's with that one actor who.
Well, it's David Cronenberg's son. Brandon Cronenberg directed it.
Yeah. So this is the one where you're jumping people's bodies, right?
Yeah. So I haven't gotten the chance to see it yet, but that's also on my list. Like I said earlier, there's so many more things I still have to catch up on, like Minari, like Possessor, also Spontaneous, which someone did bring up in the chat. I've heard a lot of good things about that one. I don't know anything about it really, except that kids' heads start exploding at school. Yeah, but it's like, it's like a metaphor, I think, for the stress of like being like a teenager, like the angst. But I heard that one was really good. And then also I actually saw Freaky as well. I don't know if you guys have checked that one out.
Yeah, I haven't.
Really, really fun.
Was it? I low-key was like, man, I don't want to bring anyone down. I low-key was like off board as soon as it was Vince Vaughn. I was like, yep. I'm good. I'm not watching Vince Vaughn. Peace. I'm not going to spend money on VOD for Vince Vaughn. I'm sorry.
I think it's because he plays a very, obviously, Jason Michael Myers-esque character, and he barely speaks unless it's the Catherine Newton character in him. And so then he speaks like a teenage girl. I think that's the reason I could look past it. But Brandon wanted to watch it, so I was just watching it with him.
Of course.
It was actually really, really good. And Catherine Newton is such like really, really talented actress, especially for like comedies like this or something in this. I haven't really seen her outside of like The Blockers or The Detective Pikachu and then Freaky. So I'm excited to see where her career goes because she's super young. I think she's like my age.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, there's so many movies that I'm obviously going to catch up on. The list is infinite. Another thing I want to do, and maybe we can, I might even do like my own video on it, like documentaries this year, because there's been like dozens of documentaries that have come out this year. A couple sports ones, a couple HBO ones, a couple ones that are on Amazon. But I want to see all those documentaries that have come out this last year. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. There's two things I want to shout out. Actually, I just realized I saw since last time we streamed. One is a less smaller movie, Jingle Jangle, a really good Christmas movie on Netflix. Really dope.
I saw that.
But more importantly, I finally saw. Hold up! I finally saw The Invisible Man. And
no way.
My
You seen
goodness!
it?
You've never seen The Invisible Man?
I hadn't seen it until last weekend. Yeah.
Nice.
And wow, what a movie! What a movie! Oh my goodness, what a movie! I couldn't believe what I was watching. Oh man! And then there's just so many twists and turns. The dinner scene when her and his sister, I was like, dang, this is nuts. Just everything about that movie was just crazy, and it was dope. It was actually had like a really deeper meaning to it, while also just being like really really well directed. So that one definitely is a late game entry. I know it came out way January last year, but
I think February.
Oh, February, yeah. But late game entry for me for top of the year.
Definitely.
Love your MFS.
Yo, Jake Yagalera donated $50 to the show. Thank you so much, Jake. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake. What was the comment?
He just said, "Love y'all."
Oh,
yeah. Thank you,
love you
Jake.
too, Jake.
Thanks,
Thank you,
so
Jake.
much.
Man, you're the best. You're the best. Thank you.
man, this is this Streamlabs is great, man.
Yeah.
Because I'm just seeing the chat and I'm so used to super chats, but I forget we also have the Streamlabs.
I know,
Yeah.
I love when the little noise comes in. I love it.
Yeah,
I'm like, ooh,
it's
it
great.
reminds me of when I was in school and we would have like the principal come on the intercom, and it's just like,
Yeah.
whoa, it happens all of a sudden. It's a little surprise. One more thing I want to mention, especially when we were talking about TikTok, guys, make sure if you have a TikTok account, follow us on TikTok at
please
FirstCutTMO.
do. And Twitch.
If not, and on Twitch as well. But if you don't have a TikTok account, please make one. It takes 2 seconds. And then follow us, because we're also going to be having a lot of really great short form content on there. We already do with Andres' top shows of 2020. But if you guys have kept up with the news, there was a an exponential growth in films directed by women in 2020. So about 16% of films were directed by women in 2020. And I'm actually going to be doing a TikTok in the future talking about some of my favorites, some that I could recommend to you guys. So make sure you guys follow that account for so many reasons, but that's one, because I'm highlighting a lot of great films in that list.
Yes, absolutely. And like I said before, we're probably going to be putting some of our older videos up on TikTok as well. We're also going to be doing some of our clips from, some highlights from the podcast on TikTok. Andres' video, his top 5, like Sabrina said, top 5, top movies directed by women, 2020. I might do something on there. And when we start getting into the video essay game, look, TikTok could be another platform. We could explore that too. Because who will be really doing the video essay game right better than First Cut? Because I don't know. I think if you listen to the meaning of, you get, that's basically like an hour-long video essay right there, if you ask me. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, please go do that right away if you haven't done so already. Twitch and TikTok. Twitch
is just First Cut.
Twitch is just First Cut. You can go follow us right now on Twitch. Is there a way we can link that in the chat? Is that a possibility?
Yes. Give me 1 second.
No worries, man. And if you can't do that, I know that's a lot to ask as we're doing this. And also
Make a TikTok account as well right now. If you don't have one, make one right now and follow us on TikTok, because there's a lot of fun stuff on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Obviously, this is me who hops on TikTok and looks at videos and then hops off. Yeah, guys, obviously, please go do that right away. By the way, my final 360 back into a conversation that we were having. Christopher Abbott is his name, homie from The Possessor. That's what I meant by that one actor. I kept saying that one actor from. He's from The Sinner. I don't know if you guys have seen that show.
I haven't.
But that's a show that came out a couple years ago. But he's low key like a really good indie actor. He's always in small movies and shit. And he looks like Jon Snow.
I need to look him up now.
I was gonna say, people have been telling me about His House on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I want to see that.
Yes.
Yeah, I gotta peep that one. One thing that I've been shouting out for a time period and I completely forgot about towards the end of last year and towards right now has been Gangs of London.
But where do you watch it?
I had a screener for it, so I was privileged with that. But that Gangs of London, oh my goodness! If you want a crime show, if you like violence, if you like gangsters, if you like some good Brits, some old Brits, and Pip Chilio.
Talking about bruv?
Yeah, you talking about bluff. If you like all that, and if you like some good action, oh my god, that's the show.
Great action.
Yeah, gangs of
Not
London.
good action.
Yeah.
Great action. And I've seen the first 2 episodes. Is what I've seen.
If you get to, I gotta figure out a way for you to watch this.
You gotta get me away, bro.
Episode five. That's a straight hour of just action, blowout, bombasticity. Like, it's crazy. So
it's the guy who did the Raid films. So
yeah. It's like sophisticated action. You know what I mean? It's like action with art. You know, exactly.
Little pinky out.
Yeah. So.
Also, Bradley in the chat is saying that the rental price for Tenet is down to $5.99, so I might be checking that one out.
Oh, you've never seen Tenet?
I still have not seen Tenet, and I absolutely refuse to pay any more than that.
I went on a trip with that damn score, bro.
Yeah.
Last week, I listened to the score, like blasted that score, like literally sitting alone in my living room.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is incredible, man.
That's Ludwig, man.
Ludwig might have like topped himself with that score, man. I think that might be my favorite. Yeah, because he did Black Panther. He did The Mandalorian. He did some incredible scores, man. He did Creed, which is like one of my all-time favorite score. But that Tenet score is like, I love it.
Is it good? Is it good though? Like, it's
the movie,
like Tenet.
He loved it. I think RB3 loved it. I thought it was too much, man. You gotta like he straight up like opened that, like, you know, straight up like the Olive Garden like cheese, and he was just straight up like just went all like too much dip on the chip, bro. Like straight up.
He put the full dip and a little ranch.
He put the full dip, bro, and a little ranch and a little ketchup. I was like,
cheese and some chives. He got that loaded nacho on there.
Yeah, that queso, bro. That queso.
Yeah.
I was like, Chris, slow your roll, man. Just like tell me what's going on before you just do like 1,000 things at one time. Like, it was too much.
You know what it is? Too much. You know what it is? It's that loaded nacho with the cheese and the chives and the carne asada, but the chip itself is soggy. The foundation, it's a little soggy. So that's what it is.
You don't even taste it anymore, bro. You don't even know what's going on. You're like, what is happening?
Everything else is deluxe, but it's the story. That's a little flimsy, you know.
The foundation of it, and then you know, if your chip is flimsy and all soggy and stuff like that, you can't really hold up all those ingredients, so it's just not going to balance out correctly.
Yeah.
Anyways, follow First Cut for reviews like that. Some more food.
I want the chip with the dip, bro. Drake, you know that meme?
Yeah.
It was too much, man. I stand by my review of Tenet. You can check it out on my Twitter. You've seen my review of Tenet, right?
I didn't see a review of Tenet. No.
It's literally just the 5-second video I put of that guy who's like, whoa, you got too much chip on. You got too much dip on your chip. That's it. And I was like, that's my review of Tenet. It's 10 seconds. That's it. That's my review.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Watch like Plot Twist. I check it out and I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying I'm going into this so just like neutral. Like, I'm not, you know, I just haven't gotten the opportunity to check it out yet. Like, obviously it wasn't playing at drive-ins.
Yeah.
It was like $20. I'm not gonna do all that. But now that it went down to $6, I'll go for it.
You know what? I think the movie got tainted. I think, for one, because if you see it in an empty theater by yourself, it's not a movie to see by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And then watching it on a laptop's not the movie to see that way. And it's definitely 150% not a movie where only like, 4% of the population could see it and talk about it. Like, I feel like if only this many people saw Inception, people would think Inception sucks too a little bit. You know what I mean?
That's low key true. Yeah, but I feel like Inception's
better made than this movie.
Yeah, man. Inception really like held your hand and walked you through it.
Yeah.
They had Tom Hardy explaining it.
Well, see, that's why I didn't like Inception for that reason. Like, I hate the moments in Inception where they're just sitting around talking about things, But
it's Tom Hardy, and he's being like funny and charming, and he's like super British.
Yeah.
That's why it worked.
That's what it's Tom Hardy.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like that's why it worked, because if it was like another actor, like a boring ass actor, it would have been kind of. But if it's Tom Hardy being like, if you fall asleep in your dream and you die, young chap, then you will die in the real world. And he's like that guy explaining it to you, so you're like, all right, thanks, Tom Hardy.
They have that intended, but you just can hear it because the music is playing a little too loud.
Did they have that intended though?
Yeah,
did they though?
John David Washington.
I tried, man, and I'm really good. Like I'm really good with keeping up with like sci-fi. Like sci-fi is, I watch anime sci-fi, which is like a different level sci-fi. Like I'm telling you guys, anime sci-fi is like times 20. And even I was like, what are you saying? What? The reverse flux capacitor times 10 inside the machine, only in reverse minus 20 seconds. What?
Yeah.
Like it was too much, man.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
They were like, if this group goes here and this group goes there, in exactly 7 minutes, the matching group will meet in the middle, and the time capsule will spin them around. And I was like,
I mean, if I'm at home, I'm gonna put on those subtitles, so maybe I'll be able to get something out of it.
Sabrina,
you might love it.
Here's what
you might love it.
You need some subtitles, you need some edibles, and you just need to just max out
man,
on this
I don't know
movie.
about that.
Your mind will
that score might be worth it though. That score might be.
I'm heading over to my dispensary tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And with that, that was First Cut Live, guys.
Anybody want to put any last second donations? Firstcut.live.
Don't forget, guys, our new Patreon is coming. Be prepared. Also, be on the lookout for that. Follow us on social media where we will be talking about it. That is at First Cut TMO. Our Patreon is at First Cut, right, RB3? First Cut TMO?
The Patreon?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't think it's live yet, but
Yeah, it's not live.
it will be First Cut, though, right?
it will be First Cut. It might be First Cut. It might be First Cut Studios. I'm not sure.
Also, our TikTok is at First Cut TMO. Follow us on TikTok as well. And finally, our Twitch, First Cut on Twitch, where we will be talking about Attack on Titan this Sunday. RB3, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram at Director RB3, and download the network app. That's why I'm gonna start plugging them now because I work for them.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Sabrina, where can everyone find you?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SabrinaXMonica, and then also on Twitter at SabrinaOnFilm.
And I'm at Squad Leader Race, guys. Make sure you follow all of us individually on social media as well as at First Cut TMO. Make sure you subscribe here if you haven't done so already. For the First Cut crew, we're peacing out. Peace.
This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh. With the 4/5 divide you in half. You getting at me equals a bloodbath.
You do the math, take you out the equation.
This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh. With the 4/5 divide you in half. You getting at me equals a bloodbath.
One can remain.
It's either me or you.
Only one can remain.
It's either me or you.
Only one can remain.
It's either me or you.
Take you out the equation.
Once again, asking for your financial support.
It's Britney, bitch.